Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, it's Glasses Taiga again. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Testing. Can you guys hear me? Is it too soft? Oh, hello, Kirito. Hello, someone. Thank you for being first to the stream. I actually saw that and I was like, I gotta hurry. Yeah. The glasses is not fully on my face, but it's okay. Whatever. Um, let's see. Oh, thank you for the shout out for Ice and someone. Hello, Ice. Hello, thank you, Sea Line. So we're here today. This is our pilot program for our video essays. Um, so I don't know. Like I actually like yapping a lot. If you can't tell from like my Taiga TSC Taiga strip club. So okay, let's see if we can make the glasses better. Okay. So if you can tell already, and I was like, since I already yap a lot and I actually talk about this topic a lot with friends, so I'm like, oh, maybe I should just have a video essay. But then I'm like too lazy to actually make a video essay, so I guess I'll just like free range this, raw dog this. Can I say raw dog on YouTube? Um, so I don't really have a script because I didn't have it prepared in time. But we'll see. Well, this is a pilot program, so this is a test. So just give me feedbacks and stuff if you can. I'll really appreciate it. And I'll keep an eye on my chat, because this is something that like a normal video essay can't really do. Like I'll be reading your feedbacks live, okay? And if you guys have any friends who are into Blue Lock and Haikyuu, please feel free to tag them in. Okay, are you guys ready? Like I'm actually not that ready. I'm like, am I ready? I'm like kind of nervous right now. Hmm. But I did. It took me like an hour and a half to prepare this thing. Actually, I only spent an hour, but well, before that, like when it first happened, mm, I kind of did like I don't know, like I was the first one I did was like just between friends, so it was very casual. So basically, this video essay is like one of the most talked about subjects for myself. So I love talking about this with my fellow anime fans friends, and it it was first released by when a few years back after watching Haikyuu, okay. But today we're talking about the first egoist of Japan. Okay, you're ready? Thank you, C-Line. Okay, so today we're talking about the number one egoist of Japan. So can you guys tell who is the number one egoist of Japan in terms of anime, not in real life? Okay, let's dive into this topic, and we'll look into our people, the choices. Is it Isagi? His name is Isagi Seiichi from Blue Lock, the main character of Blue Lock. Or is this Itoshi Sai? He's like, so far he's like a kind of big asshole in an anime. Or Is it Hinata Shoyo from 𝐒𝐴𝐽? So basically, the thesis of this video essay is that Hinata Shoyo is the biggest egoist in Japan, and I think people in Blue Lock so far in the anime has yet to surpass him in his ability in being selfish, okay? In being an egoist. Okay, hello Cow. Hello Cow, please shout out for Cow as well. Cow is an artist, fellow artist. Okay. So back so let's start from the very beginning. When I first had the idea of this PowerPoint, it was a few years back, and this was the title for my presentation. So I actually watched the first episodes of 𝐒𝐴𝐽 with friends. I'm not normally like a fan of like sports anime, even though I used to like Kuroko no Basket, but but usually like but after that I didn't really like sports anime. Like my tastes have changed. But then I had this like anime club thing where we all watch one episode of like each other's recommendations. So there will be seasons, right? So the person who chose like 𝐒𝐴𝐽 as their choice, I think they didn't have to do anything for like 4 seasons, because there's 4 seasons of 𝐒𝐴𝐽 at that point already. And so basically after the first, so like I wasn't really interested in 𝐒𝐴𝐽, and I was like very ignorant and naive, and I'm like, I don't think I'll be into sports anime. And then I watched the first few episodes of it, and then I was like floored, and I recommend it for everyone. So this is the first, like the title of this whole PowerPoint, and it was very unfair to Hinata, but it was just between friends, so I was able to be more like dark my humor. So basically, the Japanese title says この人なんか苦手, so it, like the direct translation means I can't really vibe with this person, right? But the actual translation, I feel like, because like Japanese people are very like polite and they're like very indirect, like when people tell you that like is nikate is already very like a serious level. So for me it would be like, I think he's a psychopath. So that was my first title of the first PowerPoint idea. It was a few years back after I watched so some context. So this presentation, this video essay, of course there will be spoilers. If you haven't watched 𝐒𝐴𝐽 yet, what are you doing with your life? But also, if you mind spoilers, maybe you should stop watching it and come back to this video after you watch it. But another thing I mentioned, I first made this PowerPoint a few years back after watching season 1. So a lot of the like case study was from season 1, but eventually like we'll reach, like I'll talk a little bit about like the other seasons as well. And for now, like my knowledge of 𝐒𝐴𝐽 ends, like regarding the plot, ends after movie. So while like I try not to spoil you, I hope you guys don't spoil me, because I didn't read the manga. I absolutely should, but I really don't have time. But if I find time, I will absolutely read it. But so far my knowledge is like until like the movie that was released like last year. So with these contexts in mind, let's start and change our background to orange, because we are actually not talking about Blue Lock, even though we're talking about EGOIST. Okay, so to start with, we're going to I'll tell you a little bit about 𝐒𝐴𝐽 for people who don't know 𝐒𝐴𝐽. 𝐒𝐴𝐽 is a anime about sports. It's like the main characters is this team of high school volleyball players from Miyagi, I believe. I think. Like, like this northeastern Japan. So they're not like the typical city, Tokyo city people you see in like a lot of mangas. They're actually from like a little bit of like a not very city places, but of course there's Sendai is also very city. But the whole thing is like they're just honest, like loving people. So there's like there was once I went to like a anime con in Minnesota, and like everyone, like I think 90% of the people I asked, like in Minnesota, they love their favorite team in this like anime is Karasuno. Hello, Aoki Senpai. Is that Aoki Senpai? Like your name is like very blue. Yes, Aoki Senpai. Yes, we're yes, an essay about. I will also talk a little bit about Blue Lock. Nyaho. Buttered anime corn. Let's go. So and the one thing that I really love about 𝐒𝐴𝐽 is that it's not just about its main characters. Like a lot of the characters are very fleshed out in the anime or manga, and they really talk about like different people you meet, like they feel very realistic. Like a lot of them, you can relate to them a little bit, and like they feel like familiar, they feel like real people, and then it's not just focused on one person. And then there are people who are like more like hardcore about volleyball, and there are actually people who are less hardcore about volleyball. Maybe they're not like taking it as like a career, unlike like Kuroko no Basket. Everyone is like gung-ho about like basketball, or like Blue Lock, everyone is crazy about it. But in 𝐒𝐴𝐽, there's some people who are just playing it as like a high school like extra curriculum, like just an after school kind of fun, so I really like it. It's very realistic. I think to me, my threshold for like I forgot what it's called, but basically for me things have to be very realistic for me to enjoy it. And of course, how realistic, like, or it's like very is a very subjective thing, because my reality is not like your reality. So but I highly recommend it. I have never seen anyone who hate 𝐒𝐴𝐽. I mean, there will be people who love something else more than 𝐒𝐴𝐽, but no one hates 𝐒𝐴𝐽. They're like, I don't know, like what is somebody that nobody hates? I don't know. Everybody hates. Everyone has a hater somehow. It's okay. Okay, so Hinata Shoyo, today's main point, and also the main character of 𝐒𝐴𝐽. So he's during the anime and the manga, he's like 15, 16, maybe even 17. But he actually, the characters in 𝐒𝐴𝐽, they grow up with us. Hello, Cosmic Dodge, welcome. Please grab a seat. So back then he was like 15 to 16 years old, but now he's actually 29. He's kind of old, like he's like borderline millennial, I think, almost Gen Z, even though he gives a lot of Gen Z vibes. And his height is 5'4". He is quite short for like a volleyball player. And I think that's one of the biggest part of the anime, where he's like overcoming the challenges of his height to become like a great volleyball player. Short King, he's just like me, for real. Short King. I don't think he's that short, but yeah, Short King amongst volleyball players. How to hate this ginger cat of a sunshine boy. We'll see. We're going to talk about that actually. So his position is middle blocker. Basically, he's a, like middle blockers are usually very tall people because they have to like raise their hands up high and they have to hit your ball back to your side of the nets, right? So Hinata really overcomes that by like jumping really high. So people call him the little sunshine. People call him like the twink even, because it's like kind of like very youthful, very fun, very cheery, and he's like your typical shonen main character. But this is just what he appears. And I would say, like, it might be a hot take, but if that's all you think about of him, you're like ignoring the most fun part about like his character. And I think like that's the good part. That's the one thing that I really love about Haikyuu. The characters are very like three-dimensional. They're not just like, it's not that there's get moe. It's not like they're making it as like a appeal or a moe point or a charm point. It's just because they're humans, because they're real. Everyone has another side. You can't just judge people by their cover. You can't fit people into tropes. So of course the main character Hinata is also not fit into any tropes. Okay, let's go to the next. So for next slide, we come back to visit our clickbait title. Is Hinata a psychopath? And well, back then I was like half joking, but for the record, he's not. Okay, so even back then I still think that he is not. Okay, but I try to make a PowerPoint to convince my friends that he's not just the sunshine, the twink, or like the Genki trope of a character, because my friends are like, no one is a psychopath in Haikyuu. And then I'm like, no, I'm trying really hard to sell them, so I made to the point that I made a PowerPoint. So that's why I want to share it with you. Oh my oh my god, thank you, Lina, for bringing oh my god, this is like the worst slide. But hello, Lina. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Taiga Lili, and I'm the presidential candidate from the future. I do art, I do games, and I made my own VTuber model. But recently, I'm trying to do like podcasts. I actually have done podcasts before, but I'm trying to do like video essays as well. Hello, Lina. Welcome. Oh, thank you for joining the party. Methuses. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Yes, you're off to a good start. Yes. Okay. So we're talking about the Hinata from Haikyuu, not the Hinata from Naruto. Just to clarify. Like, welcome. This is going to be on the test, so you guys better write notes. What was Lina doing? How was your stream? Oh, retro games. Which one were you guys playing? I hope you had a good stream, and if you feel like you need to rest or take a drink, feel free to. Otsukare on your stream. And welcome, Raiders, again. You're just here for the meat. So we're talking about, is Hinata a psychopath? People are like onions, dry skin on the outside and smelly juices on the inside. True. Dry skin, you gotta moisturize to not get the dry skin. You're playing Zelda Oracle of Seasons. Oh, Game Boy Color. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, Game Boy Color. How many years ago was that? I think like I guess retro games are like usually harder because people had like less choices to play, you know? So like they have the time to like grind on one. Lena is like such a good gamer. Every time I see like her strats on the games she play, I'm like, wow. One day I'll be like that, but it might take me like 10 years. Oh, chat was so patient. Oh, I understand. I understand. Like I always like keep like redoing the same part too. Even I was just okay. I was not playing a retro game. I was like playing golf in Yakuza, and I kept failing. And Chet still stayed with me. I'm very grateful about that. Ah, okay. Thank you so much, Aoki Senpai, for the message. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Thank you. So like charge your love. Please charge your love for me. Thank you so much. But yes, otsukare on the previous stream. If you like video essays and haiku and a little bit of Blue Lock, please stay. We'll dive into our topic today. It'll be on the test. So, well, a few years back, I found this video. I actually found this video just to make this PowerPoint back then, a few years ago. So, it's about what's the relationship between ADHD and antisocial personality disorders. So there are multiple antisocial personality disorders, but this person basically they talk about more than it in the video. So if you're interested, I put it in the description for my YouTube stream, YouTube chat, so you guys can check out my YouTube channel and look for the link. Okay, itterashai, Rina. I hope you have good meal. It's kind of late for dinner. Okay, please enjoy it though. Okay, okay. I hope I hope nobody, no like die-hard Haikyuu fan sent me like death threats or something after this. But I put a lot of disclaimers to protect myself, so we'll see. Happy cooking, Lina. Yes, yes. No, no, no. So it says here, antisocial personality disorder, there will be violations of social norms. Like some traits about it is there's deceitfulness, impulsivity, irritability or aggression, disregard for safety, irresponsibility, and lack of remorse. Like the ones I circled are the ones that I mainly thought Hinata committed. But now that I look again, like he also did violate a lot of social norms because Japan is a very collectivist society, so it was absolutely not social norm what he's doing. And well, every shonen main character, they don't remorse, they have a saying like 後悔しないで, they have no remorse, they don't want any regrets, basically. No regrets. Thank you for the follow. Judah? Gideon Judah? Gideon Judah. Thank you so much for the follow. So, okay, so just disclaimer, there are very many similarities between traits of ADHD and APD. Just like his name is Dr. Todd Grande, just like he said. And antisocial personality disorder is not just psychopathy, yeah. So there's also like sociopath, there's also like other disorders. And so Hinata stood up more because he's living in a collectivist society. We have to like remember that. That's why he's kind of like, he seemed more odd, because like if he were in like American high school, he might like like people around him might be less like flabbergasted by him. And of course he's an athlete, so that it could be sportsmanship. And reminder, Hinata is just a teenager, so I don't think like like we should just judge him too hard. I don't think I'll be judging him too hard for that, because ultimately he's an anime character and he's a kid, okay? Living with no regrets is the way of life. Exactly. We should all have some traits of lack of regrets, okay? And well, okay, maybe not the other ones, but so okay. I put Ego here from Blue Lock. If you follow Blue Lock, it's an anime about football or soccer. The whole idea is that they're trying to train the number one striker of Japan. And the theory of this guy is that like he thinks that Japanese people are too nice, like they love following rules, they emphasize on teamwork, it's a collectivist society. But if you want to be a striker, you gotta be egoistical. And he's trying to like find that in like the players he kind of gathered around. So you know what? Like that's why it really reminds me of Hinata. I feel like Hinata would do very well in Blue Lock. Okay. Teenage kids act very strange and their brains are just not fully developed. Exactly. And sometimes they're more brutal, they're more like animalistic, like more instinctual. So like don't feel like you're better than Hinata, okay? That's me, okay? That's me reminding myself. So this is like from the first season. These are some of the examples of like Hinata's victim. The first one on this picture over here is basically, this is even in middle school. It's not even like high school. So he has this classmate and Hinata really loved volleyball and he just tried to force everyone to play volleyball with him. I feel like everyone as a kid had done like a similar, like to a certain extent had done something similar. So he's not thinking about like if other people are actually also want to play, but he's just like, oh, come play with me. But then his other friends are like, oh, maybe not, I'm kind of busy. And like Hinata's not really getting the hint. I think I still do the same thing. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with this. And this, I think that's one of the reasons why people love you, Lena. Because you're very yourself, and that's the charm, and that's one of the most important thing you need to have as a streamer. Okay, that reminds me of the stereotype that in Japanese baseball they do a lot more buns what's buns and sacrifice plays and less individual plays. Exactly, like it's more like the strategy for the whole team to win. So individual honor is not that significant if it's not like related back to teamwork. I think Hinata and Isagi has just sort of two strands of hair apart. Fair, yes. The egoist part of them. So victim number 3 in the same frame is Hinata's Captain Daichi. He's really trying to like keep the order in the team. He really wants like the headmaster, president. How do you call it? What do you call it? Like headmaster of the school to have a good impression of like the volleyball team, and then like they just kept like throwing balls and it hit the headmaster and like a principal. I remember the word now, principal, and then his wig flew off because of like them, like just fighting. But okay, just a reminder, they're kids, okay? And fourth victim is Asanuma-san here. He is like a senpai in Hinata school, and he thought he's just gonna chill with volleyball, like he doesn't want to do it anymore. But then Hinata just went straight to his classroom and just be like, yo, don't run away, like. And I think this is especially like maybe it's not that special in like North American countries, but in Asia, because like the hierarchy is very steep. Like you don't talk to your senpais like that, especially not just like as a new kid in school. You don't like just barge into like the classroom of seniors and like force them out of their shells like that, So I don't think Asanuma-san is actually a victim, but I think that act itself is really against the social norms. It's very impulsive, of course, like, because like a normal, like, Asian person would probably not do that, like if they think a lot about it, and it's very a little bit aggressive, like throwing things at people and stuff, and disregard for safety, poor principle, and there's irresponsibility, of course, like not caring about the other people, and lack of remorse. I don't think he regret any of this. Okay, maybe he regret like hitting the principal a little bit. Epic moment, not gonna lie. Pet master. Hello, Steph. Welcome. You're just in time for our haiku video essay. Pet master? Okay. So, also, Hinata can't back down from a challenge, aka people who are taller than him. So, one day, I think in this episode, there's this really tall guy called Ushijima, and he's like the very genius player. He's very tall. He's left-handed, like he's also very hardworking, and he's also very strong, right? So he's like the impeccable player in the series. He's one of the main like adversary. So one day he was just jogging. Poor Ushijima was just jogging, and then he ran into two people who are like 2 years like junior of him, and like Hinata just went up to him and challenged him and looked him in the eye with threats. Okay, and then they also followed him into his school, into a private property, and got him scolded by his coach as well, just so that Hinata can prove to Ushijima that he jumps higher than him. Look at this. He's just like, it was not even like a ball. It was like a stray ball from the practice, and Hinata just had to dash and catch it, and just just kind of have to like fight Ushijima for it. And then Kageyama is just watching them like, oh no, we're getting into trouble, And then the second tall person that got antagonized is Liev. So Liev is this another character. He's from the Tokyo schools, and he's just tall because he's half Russian, and he gets he tries to show Liev that he can like reach as high as him, and then he jumped up, but his head hit the door frame. So that was absolutely disregard of safety and like random aggression against tall people. He's just really have this fighter spirit, which is a contrast to the coach of Shiratorizawa. So we mentioned Shiratorizawa, the very like is there locals like local adversary. So this person is from Tokyo, so it's like they don't really meet them until like they get to like national levels, right? But this is like the local level. It's the best school in the local level, and their coach is actually like a rather shorter like volleyball player. He's only 5'6", which is like not that short, but like, I mean, Hinata was like still developing. He's still a kid, right? So he can still grow, but like at this like prime age, he's already like 169, which is not that short. But again, like he's playing volleyball, which like relies a lot on height, and back in his days, like he really got like outmatched by the taller players in his team, and that's why like he had this complex, this like jealousy of tall players. But then when he became a coach, he prefers athletes with height and natural power. So he want natural born like athletes, and he really focused the whole team playing on Ushijima. And he he doesn't really like, so the whole playing style of Shiratorizawa, basically they just like is surrounded, they surround Ushijima, and whenever there's ball they just let him hit it because he can just hit it very hard. And like high school kids, it's hard for them to like even catch it with the hands, with the arms, you know. So like he didn't fight against the like his challenge like of his height. Instead he just kind of enforces it by favoring like tall athletes, you know. So he's like very stark contrast to Hinata. And so that was like first season of Haikyuu that I watched, that I had this conclusion, right? But then actually in the, and then my friends are like, okay, well, kind of. But then in the third season, there was actually an incident happened related to the Shiratorizawa school and the coach. And after that, like my friends are finally convinced. And then I was like, I called it. It took you guys 3 seasons to understand me. But it's related to this coach, and this coach really hated Hinata. I think partly because you know, I think a lot of people do it. I think even I do it too. Like sometimes, like, you know, when you kind of like dislike something because you work very hard to be bound by your own limited beliefs. You know, some of the beliefs like make you feel like, oh, you shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that, and you're bound by it. So when you see other people breaking against those rules, you kind of feel like ira, you know, you kind of feel annoyed. Like, who do they think they are that they can like break those rules? Like, wouldn't that make me stupid for actually following rules, you know? And I think that's what happened with this coach, because he did not try to like overcome the problem with his height. Like he kind of hate Hinata for like being able to do that. But I think he also had his own character development, even though he's kind of old. But that will happen like further later in the series. So more shots of Hinata doing dangerous things. So basically what happened in this scene was Hinata was trying so hard to dive to catch like the ball. He was diving towards the teachers, and in order to keep him from hitting the bench, like his coach has to pick up the bench to avoid him. But the other teacher, like their kind of like leader, the lead team lead teacher, like the teacher who's responsible for the team, he was also on the bench, and he just fell. So he really caused bodily harm. Like that teacher could have injured his spine or his like tailbone, you know. So it's actually very like risky and like disregarding of safety and irresponsible. Okay, that was years ago. Don't love you for that. Oh, you also played Zelda. Okay, so there's also like Hinata. I think this was when he was in middle school, and like him climbing up like like walls and stuff, and then like Suga senpai was like washing him like, oh, what the ma, like, are you guys okay, you know? Again, Dr. Todd and Todd Grande reminding us this is irresponsible and disregard of safety, and some like level of aggression, and of course impulsiveness. Okay, so next. And so this is one of the biggest case. How it got me to the conclusion was this time. So this, in this scenario, Hinata really wanted to play for the next competition. He really wanted to be in the opening team, right? But then his quick attack stopped working, and he tried to make Kageyama, which is the dark hair guy, to like keep practicing with him over and over again. He's like, come on, bring me the ball, you know. And Well, while Kageyama was a good sport, he actually complied. Like, I wouldn't have. I'd be like, yo, it's you that couldn't make into the main team, not me, man. I'm not like risking hurting myself to practice with you, but like Kageyama still like tried to do it with him. But then Kageyama also said that, oh, maybe it's safer to play with the senpais, it's more like balanced. It will be more like easier for everyone and it's just safer, right? And then Hinata had a fight with Kageyama. So basically Hinata really cares about like him being to be able to like play in a match. And he's like, if the quick attack can be blocked, then I will lose my purpose on this match, right? So he really literally forces, because see what he's doing here, forcing Kageyama to like practice with him. And he's like, I won't let go until you pass the ball to me. This is pure aggression, guys. And very egoistical, He's he's really fighting for his own existence, I would say. And then of course Kageyama said what the watchers, including me, were thinking about. Like, you want to destroy the balance of the team to satisfy your own wish. So I think it was like, it really shows that like the author of Haikyuu really did it on purpose, like he really wanted to show this side of Hinata, but then he also shows that he's aware that what Hinata is doing is not just typical like shonen shit, he's more like, he's very aggressive. He literally doesn't care about whether the team is winning or not. Like, him being able to play is top priority, and team being able to win is maybe second priority to him. Unlike, in contrast to like one of the senpais called Suga senpai. So Suga senpai, he is not as good as Kageyama. So he thought, okay, I'll give my spot to Kageyama because then the whole team will win, and there will be more they can play more matches ahead after like winning one game, because you need to win one game to be able to play the next game, right? Haruki-chan, welcome to my Haikyuu video essay. Right? It's pushy. Like, if you have to watch it yourself, but it's like a whole like fiasco of Hinata just playing like, give me the ball, give me the ball. That's just the blue lock. The ego moves oceans like any other emotion couldn't. Haikyuu was it? Yes, it's supposed to be a good sports anime. It's very good. I think it's the best, one of my top animes, not just in the sports genre. Yes. And yes, please. Oh, yes. I think it's absolutely best to a Haikyuu to watch. And even though, like Hinata is kind of like annoying here, like it never really disencouraged me to watch Haikyuu, because I know this is part of his personality and they are going to do something about it, right? This is for the plot instead of like some, egoistical author trying to self-insert and like writing about like this character that everybody loves doing whatever the fuck he wants, Thank you for the shout out for Luki-chan. Okay, so why Hinata is the number one egoist, okay? Look at him. He's cheerful, he's cute. I actually personally like Hinata. Is not my favorite character, even though I think a lot about him, but that's because that's how deep his character is, That's how well he's written. When he fights, he's like this. Basically, he's number one because of the ability to make use of other people while looking cute and harmless, okay? So he's looking like with a fua and genki and sunshine while doing like all this, like people didn't really change the impression of Hinata. They only remember the parts of him being the sunshine, even though he's so egoistical and selfish. And I feel like, being able to do that is the top, like, I think it shows him that he's the top dog, because he didn't have to look like this to show his assertiveness and aggression and his determination to win, okay? He didn't like make it like a big deal that he's like, oh, we're Pharaoh now, we're crazy, He didn't have to. He's just so naturally crazy and he doesn't really think about it. That's why he's very coverted psychopath, okay? He's not psychopath, but we're just saying like he hides it well, or he's not hiding because he genuinely doesn't think that he did anything wrong, okay? If Hinata was an idol, he would fight to be the center. Exactly. He would, absolutely. He would do everything he could to fight for the center. And I know, like, that would be something that people frown upon on, right? But and that's the same story with Blue Lock. Basically, in team sports, it's frowned upon on to like look like this and be like, give me the ball, I'm not giving you the ball, I'm not passing, But so all these characters, they're going through the character developments. Well, maybe not him, but like Isagi, our main character, he's going through the like character development in the first part of Blue Lock, at least, to be egoistical and think more about himself instead of like cooperating with others, And but I think Hinata already went through that. Like he already went through that stage in middle school, and now he's all about teamwork, but teamwork that only maintains his existence as like a top player in a match, not in the team but in a match. So like he sees the type of people that he can push, and he will make use of them. Of course he can't go around like pushing Daichi, so he's not going to do that. But like he make friends with like people, and when he needs them to support him, he'll force them to, and of course he has his natural charm that makes like a lot of people want to play for him. So I think that's why he is the number one egoist of Japan. And I think he's like hiding, but I feel like the other characters in Blue Lock, I think their whole thing is about like trying to become egoist. But Hinata is already like the complete form of egoist. He's so egoistical that you really can't tell or can't think about the fact that he's super selfish, okay? Also, why is that when I look for Blue Lock Pharaoh faces, it shows Blue Lock fertilization? Why is that? I don't know, man. Can some Blue Lock fans explain to me why Blue Lock fertilization? What is that referring to? Isagi does have a huge development because even wishing to be a greedy bastard, he makes the team work. Yes, he does. He does. Like I think Isagi, he is good at teamwork, and to start with, and then he learns to be egoistical. Okay, next. So I think this really ties back to the themes in Haikyuu. Like I don't think like Hinata was like odd without a reason, because I think a lot of themes in Haikyuu is like different people have different personalities. You really shouldn't like look down upon someone even though they don't fit your norm. So there are a lot of odd people. Kageyama himself is kind of like bad at communications, at first, I guess, and he has his own character development through that. He is very like kind of like picky, angry, sometimes he gets mad at people. But I think how Ego, like the guy in Blue Lock, is trying to nurture the egoist in his strikers, right? I feel like the environment of Kageyama and Hinata was also helpful in nurturing egoists, because they're all very supportive. Like Karasuno, as a team, they're like a family, and normally they wouldn't let like first years play on like a real match, but they did. They were able to have the wisdom to see through the hierarchy and their own chances of playing to like actually focus on. So other people have to be team player for Hinata to actually succeed. Oh, ad is coming up. Oh, ad is already here. So there's also 𝐒𝐸𝐸 we talked about. He's also very weird. He reads manga magazines from the first page, including all the ads and stuff. I think like, I'm not like, I can't really diagnose anyone at all. Like I'm not like super like knowledgeable about all these things, but I think they have like both of them, they have kind of traits of autism. So kind of like, like how there's this like trope, or there's this thing about like how a lot of like autistic people are easily like either easily became like the favorite like pick for people who are manipulative, or they really are immune to being manipulated. I think there's a little bit of that between Hinata and Kageyama. And Oikawa, people, in the story, he's supposed to be not like a genius. He's supposed to be like a very hardworking player, but he's genius in his face. Okay, he's born with a good face, so I put him in here as well. And even though he's very self-centered as well, he's like a foil to Hinata. He's also very good at team player, but because of his position, which is the setter, like he has to play the players to make them like work for him because he's the setter. So hello Bihwang. So there's that. And then of course like the egoist versus the team player. There's like 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭, who is super egoistical and he loves volleyball, and he does a lot of like attention seeking stuff. And then there's a team player who is Suga, who really stepped down just so that Kageyama can play in a team. So he's a senpai that we talked about. So there's a lot of these type of themes, and each character deals with it like differently. And of course, there's like, so one thing, okay, so I amuse myself. I amuse myself by thinking, who would go to Blue Lock in Haikyuu, or who would survive Blue Lock. So to start with, I think Kageyama here, and 𝐒𝐸𝐸, they probably won't go to Blue Lock. 𝐂𝐡𝐚 might not go to Blue Lock as well, because they're very top players who won't be. So Blue Lock is about like those other people that are a little bit like a grade underneath the top, and they didn't get chosen to be like the national team for the teens. So I think these people are absolutely going to like the teen level. And then maybe like Oikawa would go to Blue Lock, and Hinata himself would also go to Blue Lock. And so I think they will survive Blue Lock because they are very egoistical people. But of course, I'm aware about the differences between volleyball. So volleyball and football and soccer. So volleyball, you literally need someone to like hit a ball high up so that you can hit it down, right? So there's like the cooperation is very, very heavy. Whereas in football, like there can be situations where you can just keep running and there's nobody around you and you don't have to pass at all. So I think in football, you can afford to be crazy egoistical and not get penalized, So that's why that's why ego said that, if you're too nice, if you're too much of a team player, you can't be a good striker, because other strikers out there in other countries, they have the thought or ability to like never pass the ball, So there's how people like Messi can go to the top in soccer. Yeah, like they can just one person like team solo, So I do see that there's a difference. So it's not really comparable, like how, like because Hinata is basically forced to be good at teamwork, and but yeah, so I think I think these are Haikyuu is very interesting. There's a lot more themes than this too, and I recommend everyone to watch it. And yes, I'm still working on Blue Lock, but I think I'm very picky about animes I watch because I don't really get to watch them a lot. Like I'm like I don't know, like I when I watch anime, I have to sit there and watch, so I can't really play it in the background. So because I specifically spent time on it, I really have like low tolerance of an aspect that is bad. Like for example, like you guys know I don't like Kimetsu no Yaiba, even though the animation is top tier, it's crazy good, and you can just watch it for the vibes and the music. I can't like because like the plot isn't really solid, so I can't really make myself watch it, even though I did watch it for my friends. So I treat it as like quality time with friends than actual like anime time, you know? And like so for Blue Lock, very unfortunate, like season 2 looks like a PowerPoint. So I think that was one of the reasons that I couldn't really like continue watching it, but I still try to do it like one episode at a time because I do want to keep up with like my other friends who like Blue Lock, and I enjoyed like talking about characters, you know, just fangirling with them. mm. But yes, if you guys have any thoughts or any questions, feel free to ask me. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video essay. Yes, so I think, so between like one thing, like, okay, I don't know, like, I don't know if I should like end with like, like talking about things I don't like about Blue Lock or if I should talk about it in another essay. I don't think so. I don't think I'll make an essay just to like shit on Blue Lock. But you know, but yeah. Kimetsu no Yaiba, the anime is made really well. They animated the breathing very good. Yes. And I think thanks to the like animation, you know, like it was very popular with little kids. And I think so I saw like in Taiwan is very popular with like young kids. So like the children's doctor, like pediatrician, like the doctors that specialize in like curing kids, they will talk about, oh, do the water breathing, and then the kids would know exactly that they have to take a deep breath, you know, before their shots or something. So it's a phenomenon that's undeniable. A video essay popping popping on vlog is exactly what the algorithm demands. What's okay? I'll come up. I have a lot to say about vlog, but I think me against Blue Lock is just because I'm super picky. Like if I can enjoy anime like a normal person, like you know, I don't even like you know like SpongeBob makes me I need to go to you know talk to a therapist about this, but like SpongeBob gives me anxiety, okay? So I think there is things like that. You know how like the coach was like cringing at Hinata because it reminds me of his younger self, and then he's limited by his own limited beliefs, and he's like, I can't believe some short guy can be good at volleyball, you know? Like I feel like it's something related to that. That's why I didn't like Blue Lock, okay? Cause I think I look at Blue Lock and then I'm like, okay, if you guys want to know my thoughts, subscribe to my channel, follow my Twitch, like this video, and then I'll share it next time, okay? And I'll also talk about why I hate main characters of shonen anime, and I don't really watch shonen anime. A lot of them I don't like. I still watch like a few of them because they're really good, but you know, yes, it's good. Okay, that's a good wrap up. Thank you so much for coming by. And let's see if we should raid someone, if there's someone to raid. Okay, let's see. Wait, wasn't it in Taiwan they censored very heavily? Like, that was in mainland China. Like, are you trying to get me banned on YouTube? Are you trying to? I'm just joking. But yes, Taiwan, they have different rules. Okay, like mainland China is the very heavily censored one. Like they have to cover it, like the crease and stuff. But yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you, Akano, for being part of us today, and hope I can make more. I really enjoy talking about it too. So okay, let's put in the raid message, and we will see who to raid. Wakana. There's actually a football streamer. Okay, so let's raid. Let's see if there's anyone doing like special events. If not, I'm going to raid Tomo, because Tomo would understand if I'm like super ditch and can't like small talk. Okay, let's go raid Tomo. And Tomo is like prime one-san, very ara, very mother instinct, mothering. Okay, please say hi to Tomo for me, and I'll see you guys over there at Tomo's stream. Please be nice to her, but she's very cool, so I don't think like anything like any mean things we can do can like affect her, and also I'll protect her with my life. Okay, let's go. Hi.